The defending champs once again found themselves backing into the playoffs as New York entered the semifinals against Denver on a 2-game losing streak, which made for an interesting dynamic because they were squaring off against the hottest team in the league entering the playoffs. That would be Denver, the Outlaws, riding 6 straight wins into the playoffs. And interesting enough, it's a streak that was started against New York all the way back at the end of June. This was all the way back then. Denver, ranking near the bottom of the MLL standings at the time, but the Outlaws took advantage of New York not having Greg Gurenlian and dominating at the face-off X. So that brings us to today. Let's go to this one. Here we go. Denver and New York. Fairfield, Connecticut, the site for this one. Temperatures, 120 degrees plus on the field there at Fairfield. First quarter, the Lizards came out red hot. Kyle Hartzell in transition. That's good from 2-point range. A 3-0 start for the defending champs. And they're off and running. But Denver, they can run too. Bruce Snyder, winners win, folks. Snyder quiets the New York run for a second, cuts back to a 3-2 game, but New York goes up 5-2 before more Outlaws on the Steve DiNapoli penalty. Mike Bachlet takes advantage, 5-3 on the man-up goal. And then after yet another penalty, this time Brian Spallina called for the foul. It's Bachlet once again. 5-3, let's make it 5-4. Bachlet taking advantage. And last seconds of the first quarter, Jeremy Sieverts trying to tie things up, but Drew Adams too much. Save, and it stays 5-4 after 1. In the second, New York up by 2, but Thomas Kelly, face-off win to himself. Nobody picks him up, and he buries it. In transition, Kelly cuts it back to a 1-goal deficit, 6-5, New York in the lead, but Denver owned this second quarter. Mike Bachlet at it again. His shot stopped, but Matt Cavanaugh there. Right place, right time for the rebound. Another look. He's the only guy who saw it. Cava, nice. Ties things up at 6 apiece. Later in the second, it's 7-6. Denver has the lead, and they're adding on. From 2-point range, it's Mike Simon. Wild shot from downtown, makes it 9-6. New York eventually ends this run, a 6-goal Denver run that's ended by the Pinnell to Rabel connection. Gorgeous stuff. But it's still 10-7, Denver in the lead. Late second quarter, it's now 11-8. New York trying to get something going on the man up, but another stop by Jack Kelly. And at the half, New York down by 3. Let's go to the third quarter. Denver 2 men down as both Scudin, Matt Bachlet both draw penalties. But it doesn't matter. Jack Kelly, a huge save at one end, and then in transition, 2 men down, it's Mike Bachlet. Yes, sir. What a finish. Down 2 men, and they still score. Makes it 13-9 Denver. It's now 13-10. Here comes New York. Jojo Marasco beats his man. Cuts it back to a 2-goal deficit at 13-11. 5 minutes to go in the third. Here comes New York. Pinnell feeds Palasek. Tommy on the doorstep. We're all knotted up at 13 apiece. Just 30 seconds later, though, Jack Kelly, one of his 17 saves. Then the long outlet pass, and we don't call him Cavanaughty when he's clinching a spot in the playoffs. You call him Cavanice. One of his 5 goals. Denver takes the lead back at 14-13, and they would continue to add on. 16-14, make it 17. Westberg beating Paul Rabel, makes it a 3-goal advantage. And then in the fourth, Jeremy Sieverts to Bachlet. Yeah, he's pumped up. He can feel that championship game looming, makes it 18-14 and 3 minutes left. How about one more for good measure? Sieverts, tic-tac-toe to Bachlet to Law. The last goal for the Outlaws of the game, but there were plenty of them. 20. They put up 20 on the defending champs, and they come away with the win at 20-17, your final Taking a look at some of the stats, we mentioned Kavanaugh, 5 goals, but you can't forget about Bocklett, 4 goals, 4 assists. Sievert's a 6-point game as well. It overshadows what Pennell and Rabel and what Greg Renlian was able to do at the X. Jack Kelly also a star in this one as the Outlaws get the 2017 win.